Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour and give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. Let's beat the cappers and get right to the picks, because we don't mess around here on the drive-thru. Let's go to Kirk. Kirk, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing today?
All right, looking forward to the week here. A lot of college hoops, baseball in full swing. And Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. I got into a fight with a lawnmower, and I lost, as you can see.
No.
But see, I lost. I had one side got whipped off, so I was like, I got to take it all off. So that's what I did. We started fresh, new week. Let's get to it. Rough weekend for me. A few spots. MLB. As always, I hate the MLB, but we'll keep grinding it early. It's still early, but it always kicks my butt early. Baseball is the one sport that I find there's no rhyme or reason for things to happen, and it just sure does. You take an under, and next thing you know, they scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings, and you're like, well, there goes the under.
Yeah.
Like the White Sox. What, the White Sox scored 9 runs in the first 3 innings? Yeah, I had an under in that game. All right, 0-1 to start the day. But then I had Butler to kick it back, so at least we turned things around 1-1 to start the day.
The end game worked there. It was a close game. Yeah, close game. The end
game.
Close
game. Sweated it out. I was like, Utah hit that 3 late, and I was oh, man, really? Here comes overtime in that one. But Butler got the job done late in the late pocket. 3 seconds left. Utah missed the 3. Dribbled it out.
That's right. They did. No doubt. Let's get to the NBA here, guys. We'll start off here. Waiting on Javon. He'll join us hopefully shortly. Let's get to the games here. We start with Heat and Wizards. We can see here the Heat now 9, total 215.5. Next up, we've got Kings and Pacers. Here we've got the Pacers favored 4, total 235.5. And then in this block, we'll look at the Clippers and Magic. Clippers down from 3 earlier. It's now Clippers 2.5, the total 211. Let's take a look at the injury reports here for this block of 3 for today. Go ahead and hit a little refresh here, and we'll see what we can pull up here from these games here. Looking here at the Kings and Pacers, we got Carter and LaRavia out here for a second. Well, Carter might be a season-long injury. He was in a sling yesterday. Indiana, Mathurin. Now Turner hits the injury report there for Indiana. Clippers and Orlando. For the Clippers here, we've got Bogdanovich, questionable. Coffey, London, Miller, and Simmons out. Cole Anthony out for Orlando. Miami and Washington in these. Let's make sure that's the right game we have here. I just want to make sure that's in this block. Oh, Jazz Hornets are not in this block. Okay, so Miami and Washington, we got Jovic, Love, Robinson, Wiggins out. Mitchell is questionable. On the Washington side, no Bay, no Brogdon, no Coulibaly, no George, no Gill, no Middleton. So we get this one here underway with Rod.
Yeah, looking at the Heat and Wizards game, I'll take the over 216 in that matchup. Hey, the Heat are playing some pretty good basketball. And the Wizards, they're playing with a bunch of G Leaguers. So G Leaguers don't play defense. Give me the over 216 in that one. We've seen the Wizards be able to score plenty of points over the last couple as well. So give me the over 216 there. And then the Clippers and Magic, I like the under there in that one. We know the Magic could definitely play some defensive basketball. And that's what I think we see here. First to 100 type game wins it. We've seen earlier this season, back in November, it was a 104-93 win for the Clippers in that one. First to 100. The game before that was 100-97. Expect the same type of game here. Give me the under 211 in that one. It's come down a little bit. It was 211.5 down to 211. Yeah, give me the under Clippers. Orlando.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move on to Kirk.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Magic on the money line. I think they're really battling for seeding. Clippers are coming off a game last night, back-to-back with travel. They're a little bit of a, I wouldn't say older team, but they have some older pieces in Harden and Kawhi. I think the Magic, they're starting to play well at home. They just beat the Kings by 30, carry some momentum into this one. I like the Magic outright in this one.
Yeah, from Kirk, tell you what I think here about these games. Yeah, I agree with the over in Miami and Washington. Wizards have gone over in 8 of 10. Miami's been shooting the ball very well. Look at their past 5 games. They're hitting 50% and hitting their threes very well, but they're giving up 47% shooting. Wizards in bad defensive form. I'll look at the over in that game here. Let's see what else. I'll also look at Magic plus the points. Magic have covered 7 of 9. This is a back-to-back here for this LA team. We got We got the Orlando Magic here with the rest advantage. Of course, Magic are trying to work seeding right now as they're in that. They're trying to catch Atlanta in that 7-8 game. Looks like that's where they're going to be, 7-8 game. They could even fall down as low as 9 or 10. But they're one game back of Atlanta for that 7th, and that 7 means you host a 7-8, and that's a winning in 7-8 game. So I think there's some motivation for Orlando here, so I'll take them in this spot. We welcome Javon Burtz, who's been on tear here, and see if we get them all situated. Javon, we're going to cover the first block of games, NBA. We got we've got in this block Clippers, Magic, Kings, Pacers, and Heat, Wizards.
Repeat that one more time.
Yeah, Clippers, Magic, Kings, Pacers, Heat, Wizards.
I could only go with the Clippers in this one. I know they lost yesterday, but had a furious comeback in the fourth quarter. Second night of a back-to-back. Don't exactly have what they've done with that as far as ATS wise, but this Orlando Magic team, they are not the Cleveland Cavaliers. Offensively offensively challenged, and their defense hasn't been up to snuff, compared to last season. So you match that up with a Clippers team who they could do it on defense, and they have some offensive juice with them. I'm gonna roll with the Clippers. That's really the long and short of it.
There from Javon. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we continue here in the NBA with these next block of games here. Next one we got. This is your degenerate special game of the week, Jazz and Hornets. You need help if you bet this one. Hornets laying 3.5. Total coming in here at 225.5. Next up, Celtics Grizzlies. Interesting one here. Celtics up to 5 now. Total 237. Bulls and Thunder. This was 15 early this morning, down to 14 for the Thunder. Total 240. Let's take a look here at the injury reports for this series, for this block of games. We're taking a look at Utah and Charlotte here on Utah's side. No Collins, no Harkless, no Kessler, no Markin, no Sexton, no Williams. Hey, be careful, Utah. Don't get that fine. That's too many guys. That's too many guys. You already got that $100,000 fine. Another one could be coming. Okogie there out for Charlotte, Boston, and Memphis. Brown and Cornette questionable. Poulin out for Memphis. Chicago and OKC. No Werder, no Jones, no Liddell here for Chicago. Ball doubtful, but more importantly, Giddey in the lineup for Chicago. He's off the injury report. Giddey in for Chicago. On the OKC side, no Deng, no Dukas, no Mitchell, no Wiggins. Jalen Williams, the bad one, he's questionable. Holmgren, Hartenstein questionable as well. So there you go. So we got you covered there in that block, and we get it underway here with Javon.
I'm kind of torn with this OKC Thunder and Chicago Bulls game. Been literally riding with the OKC Thunder since the second half of the 2021-2022 season. So the spring of 2022, winter going into spring 2022, we've been cashing consistently with this team. Picture that. So, and this is when. Before the odds makers caught up with the OKC Thunder, all up until, relatively recently when they finally did, catch up and then overinflated the numbers, and they're still covering. Well, this is another overinflated line. Minus 14 against the Chicago Bulls team who's, tearing it up ATS wise and in general, so straight up. So are you going to keep on riding the wave of the OKC Thunder because they've been doing this to every team on a 8-9 game winning streak and have covered all those games, or are you going to roll with the road dog in Chicago who they're covering every game as well, even though they lost their last game. So they didn't cover that again because they were 3-point favorites. But how I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it like this: first half Bulls. If they actually have a lead or within striking distance, let's say it's a single digit game, that's when OKC breaks it open and you play for the third quarter. I'm getting cute with it, but so first half Bulls, third quarter OKC under certain parameters.
There you go from Javon. Next up, we move on right over to Rod.
Yeah, look at this OKC team, and they've won 20 straight as a favorite against the Eastern Conference. Is that number for OKC? They're also that number gets even better in the first half. Well, it's about the same. They've won 14 straight first halves. Have the OKC City Thunder. But for me, that's a lot of points for the Bulls that have been comfort machines, right? Give me OKC. I'm gonna I'm gonna find an extendo. I think they win by 20 over the Bulls. They're trying to cook you right into the Bulls line there, going, come on, we'll give you. They were giving you 15 this morning, and a lot of people, I'm sure, took them up on that offer at the 15. That's why the book dropped it down to 14 in that one. So I'm gonna lay the minus 19.5 with OKC. They cruised the 20+ point win over the Bulls in that one. Bulls defense is awful, awful, awful. And I got OKC. They could pay at least $1.30 on the Bulls here in this one. And OKC can play some defense. So they'll be able to slow them up, win by 20 there. And then the one other one I'm looking at is, speaking of the Bulls, it's the Sacramento Bulls on the road. They're in that matchup, and they're getting 4. From what I know is you bet the Sacramento Bulls as a dog. You don't bet them as a favorite. So I'll take the Sacramento Bulls. That's the Bulls I want tonight. Give me the Sacramento Bulls plus the points in that matchup.
There we go from Rod. We move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, I'll take the Celtics here against the Grizz. Grizzlies kind of been in shambles the past month or two, just fired their coach. Celtics are the best road team in the NBA, been better on the road than at home. The Grizzlies actually beat the Celtics at the Garden earlier this season, so I think this is a very good revenge spot here for the Celtics, late with the Celtics.
From Kirk, I'll tell you what I think here about these block of games here. I like the over with Memphis and Boston. I think we saw a peak. The assistant coach was the architect of this Memphis offense, and we saw it. We saw all the offense come out here. Now, there wasn't enough against the Lakers, but they're not going to slow down. It's going to be fast-paced, crazy style basketball. And I like them. I like the over in that one with Boston and Memphis. Boston in really good shooting form as well. Memphis in their past 5 at home, averaging 120 points per 100 possessions. Give me the over there. I'll be that guy taking the Bulls plus the points. They've covered 14 of 17. That's enough for me. OKC has clinched the Western Conference. They have 8 games remaining here. And also to the Bulls over their past 5 games, 51% shooting, 44% from 3. That's pretty strong. I'll take them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive through as we close out the NBA with these final 2 games. We got Nets and Mavericks. Mavericks still 9, total 217.5. On the West Coast, this one's come down. I saw 5s early this morning. It's now Lakers 3.5, total 225.5. Let's take a look at the injury reports here for these final 2 on the slate. And we'll see here in Brooklyn, Dallas, no Clowney, no Cameron Johnson, no Sharp. He's out. Remember, Cam Thomas is out for the year. On the Dallas side, it's getting thinner. Exum's the only one out. Lively questionable. Martin, Gafford, Davis probable. So Dallas getting close to full strength. Of course, Kyrie Irving out for the year. Just to make note, he'll no longer show up on the report. We get underway here with Javon.
Yeah, that Brooklyn Dallas game got hit early on. It opened up at 12.5, got bet all the way down. Now it's at 9. So, I'm not this type of game, this type of team. I'm not in the business of taking the worst number. Certain games I will. If I'm on if the line moves, to the team that I like. But yeah, just this one I won't do it. See if you get a better in-game number with Brooklyn, and then take them. That's the only way I would play it. As for this Houston and Lakers game, I'm gonna be on the Lakers. Not to say they're in must-win mode, but they do need to get it in gear. Before the playoffs, they gotta win against the Grizzlies. But Houston, they've been in better form than the Grizzlies. A lot of teams have. But I think it's a situation where they lost that first game against Houston. I think revenge is on the menu in this one. They got to shore up the paint, defend the paint better than they have been. But, that's really a situation where they have to do that in the offseason, and load up there, but because they're not going to be able to do it sufficiently during the season. So yeah, star power has to shine through. Doncic, James, Austin Reeves, they got to shine for this one in order to get this win. But I think that's what happens.
Yeah, from John, just let's remind you here, no injuries reported for Houston here. Clean injury report. Kleber out for LA, James probable. So there you're caught up in that one. We get it. We move on over to Rod.
Yeah, and I like the Lakers there in that spot as well. The Lakers at home, playing pretty good ball, especially against the Western Conference. Winners of 10 straight at home versus a Western Conference opponent, including 9 straight covers for the Lakers versus the Western Conference. So I'll lay the 3.5 there with the Lakers. I like it now better than I don't have to lay the 5.5 with the Lakers as it was this morning. So you get a better number, as Javon says. Less wood to chop with the Lakers there in that one. And then I skipped over one. I skipped over the DJN game in that last time spot. I'm sorry I missed it. I totally missed the Jazz and the Hornets. Look at this Hornets team. You really want to be betting the Hornets team? Ooh, them as favorites is absolutely awful. And that's including over the last 2 seasons. This Hornets squad is 1-12 as a favorite over the last 2 seasons. As a home favorite, 0-9 as a home favorite. Charlotte playing against a terrible team. So teams that are winning about 25% of their games, it's even worse. They love to play with their food. 1-17 ATS is the Charlotte Hornets squad against teams that are winning 25% of their games. So guess what? The Utah Jazz on the money line tonight over the Charlotte Hornets to get the job done there. I'll take the nice plus price with the Utah Jazz in the DJN game of the night.
Yeah, I know the DJN. Found an angle in that DJN.
Found an angle in the DJN game. Give me the Jazz. Jazz hands tonight.
There we go. From Ron on over to Kirk.
Yeah, tough slate of games here. I'm gonna be on the Rockets here. I think after yesterday, they're really showing that they're gonna be a tough team to beat for years to come. Lakers, I'm not sold yet on the LeBron-Luka combo. I'm going to take the points with the Rockets here in my back pocket in a game they may win outright.
There we go. From Kirk, tell you what I think here about these games. I'm going to lay it with Dallas. They're getting healthy, and I think they're really trying to get that 9 seed there. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks sit in the 9th seed. They are 5.5 behind the Clippers for the 8th. I don't think that's possible, but holding that 9 seed means they have a home court. They have home court that 9-10 game. Why is that important? Well, you got bean counters that own the team, casino owners. So give me that home gate. That's what I want. So they get that home gate in that 9-10 game. So I think they'll be motivated here. You can see all the guys are playing. They're not tanking here to try to get out of the playing round. They're bringing their guys back in. Brooklyn, I think the shine is off this Nets team. I think it's off them. I mean, they've got some good cover numbers, but the way they've looked lately, no, thank you. I want nothing to do with this Nets team. They have not looked good at all. You look at the Nets over their past 5 games, shooting 42%, 31% from 3, and they're getting outscored by 17 points a game. So the shine is off this Nets team. So yeah, I know there's some positive trends, but just throw them away. Wait till next year. Wait till next year to use those because they're done. They're cooked. They might be overcooked, to be honest with you. So the Dallas Mavericks there at 9.5. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Is get ready to cover college hoops. We're get your Crown and Coke ready, guys. We've got the Crown Series for tonight. There's 2 games remaining here in college basketball, so let's get to the Crown Series today. We got 2 games. Boise State has about a 6-point lead at halftime in their game against George Washington. Butler gets the win and cover in the first one by a few points. So let's get to the Crown Series here. Prime time games here, 8:30 Eastern time. We have Nebraska and Arizona State, and here you can see that Nebraska favorite 6 here. Total sits here 155.5. And the next one here in this block will be Georgetown and Washington State. Georgetown 2.5, coming down a bit. Total sits here at 162 in that game. And I just want to go back, making sure, this game is already in progress. There's the game. 6-point lead here for Boise and Utah. Butler, well, you see the game there, finished 2. And Butler, as the dog, gets the cover in that one. So in this slate, we're going to cover Nebraska, Arizona State, Georgetown, Washington State. We get this one underway here. Oh, let's get it right here. We'll get it underway here with Javon.
Yeah, did you notice anything about the lines not being offered like a couple hours before that first game tipping off?
I did not notice it at all because not to my knowledge.
No. Yeah, well over here on DK and on FanDuel, it got both games. All the games were taken off the board. So
Might have been the
looking
transfer
forward
portal
couple-
the situation with the transfer portal and the situation here with the opt-outs, because there was a lot of opt-outs in these games. Matter of fact, Washington State has tons of opt-outs. There are two leading scorers out there. I think you're seeing some situation here with opt-outs and injuries as well. A lot of confusion here with this transfer portal. Also, too, how is the NIL money going to be distributed? That's the big question for me.
Yeah.
No one explained that. Oh, it's going to go to the NIL fund. But how does that get to the players? And does it get to the coaches? And what if you're a senior? Do you get paid, or is it for the guys or is it for next season? A lot of question marks. I'm saying this is how college basketball. They don't give you the fine details. And the problem is these reporters are just cutting and pasting what's released by the Crown Series. They're not asking the questions that need to be asked. How is it distributed to the players?
Yeah, but are they actually having that interview session too? Are they actually getting the interview session for the reporter to ask those hard questions? Right. I haven't seen any of those either, right? I haven't seen any interviews being done to find out. But to your answer, that line moved on Butler. Butler was a favorite, I believe, -1, -1.5, and when they took it off the books, all of a sudden it came back, and it was Butler at +2, +2.5, and it went all the way up to +3 before tip-off. Butler there because of I'm guessing the news, but I really couldn't understand why it went. Because all of a sudden I looked back, it was like, what the heck? Butler's getting 2.5? I was like, oh man, I think I was laying 1 in that one. I was like, man, what the hell? I would have rather had the 2.5, but at least they pulled it out. But still, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, $300,000 to the winner, but again, how is it distributed? That's what I'm saying. Hey, we get $300,000 and we win this thing, but again, how? Yeah, that's the.
So does the porthole guy get 10% if he leaves? Because he's still on the team.
No, it's probably I don't know. That's the big question mark. How they don't give you the details. How much it goes in like we know in the in-season tournament for the WNBA and NBA exactly how much each player makes, how much each coaches make. In this, it just goes into our fund. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it'll be equally distributed. Yeah. Maybe it's you don't know. You don't know these things.
Well, that's another question for another day because it's not going to be answered.
That's right.
So I'm on Georgetown in this one, and a lot of questions in this game. We know that a couple guys aren't going to be there for Georgetown and for Washington State. So I'm looking at the coach here. I'm looking at someone that's going to rally the troops, and that's Ed Cooley. No matter who's on the court for him, he's gonna have these guys ready to go, and that's really the long and the short of it in this one. I'm betting the coach. I'm betting the one that I know, and that's Ed Cooley, one of the best coaches in America, best college coaches in America.
Yep, and probably the attitude is just like the college bowl games. Next season starts today. All right, just that's right. That is for the guys that are returning.
And that's the team. That's a program that's going to allocate some NIL funds. So look out for next year with the Hoyas.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There we move on. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Right. Yeah, it just states they get the winner gets $300,000 into the NIL package. That's it. That's all. That's what it states. What does that mean? Who knows what that means? But looking at these, the two late games, you know what? Give me Arizona State plus the 6 now. I don't want to lay that kind of number with Nebraska on the road. You've seen what they did this season on the road. They were 5-7 straight up on the road, and now expect them to lay a 6 here in this spot. Everybody and his dog seen what Arizona State did coming down the stretch. But look at the gauntlet of teams they had to play. They played a tough ranked scheduled teams of a gauntlet. Way better, tougher schedule than I think what Nebraska had to play. And for me here in that one, I just don't trust Nebraska here in the spot. Laying 6 on the road. I will take Arizona State plus the 6 in that one. I think that game comes right down to who's got the ball last. So we want those points in our pocket. And then looking at the other one in the Hoyas, I look at this line and I'm like, why is it only 2.5? We know Georgetown is the better squad there in that one. So I would expect that line to be at 5, 6. But the problem is it's the portal guys. So you're telling me that Georgetown's only a 2.5 point favorite with the few guys sitting out for Washington State, the Cougars? Why isn't that line 5 or 6? Nebraska's 5 or 6. So I would figure this one is. So somebody knows something. Give me the Washington Cougars on the money line. I think they outright the Hoyas. They get the runner-up money and look back onto next season.
Yeah, I think I know that a notable player from Rutgers announced his transfer portal. That might have rattled the books. Hey, these guys are starting to announce. We have no clue what's going on. We could have guys in these games announced. So they probably got scared and pulled it because we were getting announcements of guys hitting the portal. So the books didn't want to get caught with their pants down if it happened in Vegas to some of these teams. I think that's really what happened there in that situation. All right, next up, we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, I'm not betting these games. I don't know. It's not for me. Not for me. These ones. So I'm gonna take a pass here.
It's called a Ruffalo. You take a Ruffalo. You can use your Ruffalo.
Using this Ruffalo here, I'm gonna say El Paso.
Here's the Ruffalo.
Hey, I got some guys in the chat saying they're passing too. I can't blame them. A lot of You might want to see one game. I think at least that's probably the root.
These are. Yeah, you need to see a couple games and then we'll know who's going on because otherwise it's like bowl games going on because you don't know who's in and you don't know who's out.
You can start seeing that. You could start seeing that like look at the box scores for these games. That'll give you an idea. You'll probably see a lot of freshmen, sophomore, maybe returning juniors in there. But again, I can't think the seniors, are interested in the money going into a fund because, you'll be, I'm sorry, you graduated, so you're not getting nothing. So, I mean, there's a lot can happen there. Anyway, I'm going to look here at Sun Devils. I kind of agree with Rod here in the situation. It is a closer to the venue. You could drive, I think it's about a 4-hour drive from Tempe to Las Vegas. So I could see them get some fans over there. And it is true. The Sun Devils have covered in neutral court games. They've covered, there's 6 of 7, and they had some covers here. Everybody wrote them off against Arizona. They were like 18-point dogs against Arizona. They covered against Arizona. One of the craziest results all season is Arizona State sending Houston on the road into overtime. That was one of the biggest surprise results. They had point spread success against Texas Tech. So this team has had success covering spreads, not winning but covering and showing up. So I expect Arizona State at least to show up. And they actually, when you look at their numbers in Ken Palm, this is what really blew me away. They're in the top quartile of both offensive and defensive efficiency in the nation. It's just they play in this tough conference. They get beat down and make them look like crap. But when you kick them out of conference, somewhat respectable. So I'll look at Arizona State there plus the points. All right, let's continue here.
5-0 as a road dog of 6 points or less on a neutral court this year is Arizona State.
Yeah. So they show up on those games. So it's a tough conference, man. It's a tough conference. It could make you look bad. So I'll look at them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. As we will transition over to Major League Baseball here for tonight's action. So let's see what we got. We have any games starting pretty soon. Let's see here. Let's get to baseball right now. And we'll get the lower thirds for you set up here. I think we got it. Okay, here we go. I don't think this. Let's see if we can back up a little bit on this baseball because we think we do have other games that will start shortly here. Where's my baseball tab? I got it here someplace. Here we MLB previous. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, we got some games here that haven't started yet. So let's get to these games here. So we'll start here with Rangers and Reds. We'll do 5 in this block. Rangers and Reds. We see the Rangers here at $1.24, total 8.5. Mets and Marlins. Marlins dogs here. Mets $1.85, total 8.5. Pirates and Rays. We see the Rays here, $1.73, total sits 8.5. Nationals and Blue Jays. Blue Jays $1.59, total 8.5. And we'll stop here with Angels and Cardinals. Cardinals $1.54, total of 8. We get this block underway here with Javon.
I would actually want to find a way to roll with the Miami Marlins. They showed some grit against a bad team in Pittsburgh. As bad as the Marlins are, the Pittsburgh's not too ahead of them. David Peterson, first start of the season, he's not a minus 190 pitcher. But yet and still, at the end of the day, do you really believe that the Miami Marlins are going to win? Maybe a plus 1.5 is half's in order. Not too sure, but that's the only way I would play it. I don't play plus 1.5 for some reason. A lot of times, it's too juiced for my liking. if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna try to shoot for the stars on -1.5, plus money or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm not looking, but I don't think that +1.5 will produce plus prices in this game. Yeah, it's like even money. So perhaps a shot at the Marlins to keep it within margin is the way that I would play it. It's not juiced at all. So that's the way I would play this game. As far as any other ones in this time slot, Toronto's too priced out for me. It's at -165. I'm not gonna mess with that one. Are we on San Fran and Houston?
No, not next block.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right, there from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
You're giving the under in that Mets and Marlins game. Yeah, the Marlins did get some nice runs being scored against a really bad Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen. Shows how bad that Pirates bullpen really is, and it's awful. So Marlins are not going to have that same kind of luxury of a crappy-ass bullpen to crush. So give me the under 8.5 in that one. And we've also seen the Mets bats. Right now, they're not hitting the beach ball. So I like the under 8.5 there in that matchup. And then I like the Toronto Blue Jays in the first 5 because I've seen it plenty of times with Bowden Francis. He pitches a gem in that first 5-6 innings and mows everybody down. And then the Blue Jays bullpen, another bullpen that's ass, and they give it away. And then the Washington Nationals get the win late in that one. The Bowden Francis gets either a no decision or he takes the big ol' L in that one. So Blue Jays first 5, Washington Nationals full game there in that one. And then look at this line on Rasmussen. Man, why? It's dropped. It was at -200 was Rasmussen in the Rays. And now it's down to a -175 for what it was this morning? What? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. So, that being said, everybody's seen the Pittsburgh Pirates get their ass handed to them all weekend long by the Marlins. Guess what? I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates there in that one because everybody's the recency bias. Pittsburgh's ass, total ass. So give me the total ass team in the Pittsburgh Pirates to get the win there in that one at the big plus price there.
There we go from Rod. All right, next up here, we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, tough to really gain any edges early in the season, but I agree with Rod on Bowden Francis, but I'm gonna take the shot and lay the run line with the Blue Jays. Hopefully they're up enough runs by the time he gets pulled, where if their bullpen does stink it up, they'll still cover the run line, and at +125 to +130, I think that's where I want to put my money in this time slot.
From Kirk, tell you what I think here about these games. I like the over in Nats and Toronto. Bullpen numbers have been scary bad for both teams. Nats pen allowed 17 runs, 4 homers in 10 2/3 innings. Blue Jays pens allowed 13 runs in 16 innings. Both teams have hit the ball pretty well. As a road dog in this price range, Washington 24 and 15 the over. And lined here at this, we at the 8.5. Where are we at in this game here? We are at 8.5. So at the 8 to 8.5, Toronto 34 and 17 the over in games at home, lined by 8.5. I'll take that game to go over the total. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready here for the next series of games here from Major League Baseball. And they will be in this block. We've got coming up for you. Giants and Astros. Astros $1.22, total 7.5. Now, there were some 8s earlier. Is that still the case, Joe? You can still find some 8s, but they're juiced. Guardians, Padres. Padres $1.21, total 8. Tigers and Mariners here. We got the Mariners $1.16, total 7. And then we've got the Cubs. Well, the Athletics are in the shelter now. The homeless have found their shelter in Sacramento. We got the Cubs here, $1.40, total 8.5 there. Braves and Dodgers. Boy, Dodgers 5-0 on the year. 217 against Profar, by the way. They just announced that Profar is suspended 80 games for a drug situation there. So Profar is suspended 80 games. So when it rains, it pours for this Atlanta team. All right, so we get this one here underway with Javon.
Oh boy, the Atlanta Braves, huh? Just can't get no worse. They're radioactive right now. You can't touch them after that showing over the weekend. So are they going to get shut out? Is there a bet or prop or whatever that says that they get shut out?
I'm
For a
pretty sure
third
you can
straight
find
game?
it.
I don't know.
Pretty much everything you can find.
Might want to put some money on that.
The old extendo clip.
But right, something. Sheesh. But yeah, I'm not gonna look at that game. We'll look towards the Houston Astros. That's the team that wasn't giving up anything. To the overhyped Mets. Over the weekend. Now they're facing the San Fran team. San Fran did get the job done over the weekend. They're 2-1. Both of these teams are 2-1, but I'm gonna roll with the home team. Ronel Blanco, he pitched well last season. Ended off the regular season strong. Wasn't giving up much, and I think that continues into this season with him. Their bat wasn't really cracking, but they didn't need to crack because that pitching staff did the job, and I think they continue to do the job in this one. So, give me the Astros.
There from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, looking at the couple in this spot, I'm looking at the latest. Give me the Guardians here. A nice plus price over the Padres. Man, there's another line that moved down. Padres were at minus 135. Now it's only a minus 122. Don't you want the Padres at cheap? No, I do not. Give me the Guardians in that one. Nice little plus price there. And then, look, you can get the Tigers. It's a plus 108 now. Don't you want them with, what's his name rolling? Job. Job's finally getting a start for Detroit. And look, that lines up to a plus 108. No chance. Give me the Seattle Mariners in that one. I also like Julio. He got his bats going. He got himself a nice home run in the last game there. I think he gets another one here. I think the Seattle bats start rolling. I'm going to go against the Detroit Tigers in that one. Give me Seattle at home in that one.
There from Rod. Next up, we move on over to Kirk.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under in that Seattle game. Seattle had the most unders in the MLB at home last season. And this game I think is another under here. As I said earlier, tough to kind of get an edge early in the season, so I'm just playing the numbers here. Seattle was the best team for the under at home last season, so that's where I would lean in this slate.
Yeah, they still can't hit at home. I think last I checked it was 179 they hit in that last series. So, yeah, still nothing's changed so far. Edgar, what happened? Edgar, we had a lot more hope for you than that. Getting that team hitting. I'm going to look at the Guardians plus the price here. The San Diego Padres are strapped for money. So I had to go and find this pitcher who couldn't make an MLB roster here, who was pounded in Boston. As both probably Javon and Kirk know, this Kyle Hart, who was just absolutely pounded in Boston, goes to Korea, has a good season, and the Padres strapped for money. Said, okay, we'll sign you. We'll sign you. We don't have a lot of money, but we'll sign you. Cleveland 15-7 against left-handed starters on the road with a plus 9.5 unit return. So I'll take Cleveland in this one. San Diego's put up some really good bullpen numbers, but they've been heavily used so far. Look at the bullpen numbers that they've pitched. The amount of innings they put are quite high. I'll look at them. I'm going to support the homeless again. They're at the Shelter. I'll take them plus 116 with Tent City. They've against these bad bullpens in their home ballparks, and we're calling this the Shelter will be their home ballpark this year. 16-9 at home against these bad bullpens, and the Cubs bullpen it doesn't get worse than this. Look at their bullpen so far. In 22 2/3 innings, the Cubs bullpen's allowed 22 runs. I mean, that is it's just absolute atrocious there, and they're only hitting 208. And I'll look at the home game. I'm going to support the homeless. 10 City Athletics plus the 116. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we will take a look here at the NHL here. We'll do it all in one block. NHL action here for this Monday. So let's get to the board here right now and bring it up right now. I think we're set to go here. NHL. Let's make sure we got them all covered. Here we go. Predators and Flyers here. Flyers $1.25. Total will be 5.5. Wild and Devils. Devils $1.43. Total 5.5. Flames and Avs. Avs $2.68. Total 6. Stars and Kraken. The Stars $1.69. Total 6.5. There you go. There's your coverage for hockey tonight. We get this one here underway with Ron.
Yeah, and I like the Philadelphia Flyers here in the spot. Nashville on the road. Yuck. Awful on the road is this Nashville squad. 9 and 27 on the road this season is Nashville. Hey, Philadelphia. Well, I guess they fired the coach because he didn't want to tank. So they got this new guy's interning, and they're on a nice little 2-game winning streak. So guess what? Make it a 3-game winning streak for the Philadelphia Flyers. And I guess he didn't get the memo that you're supposed to tank here, but they're not. They're winning. So give me the Philadelphia Flyers in that one, and then give me the over between Calgary and Colorado. We'll see plenty of goals. That opened to 5.5, shot up to 6. I think we see 7, 8, maybe even 9 goals. Calgary, Colorado. Give me the over there in that matchup.
There from Rod. Next up, we move on, Rod, over to Kirk.
Nothing today.
Nothing on the ice. The skates are back on the shelf there for Kirk. All right, it's time for our Parlay Peripheral segment where our cappers can give out a parlay, give out a player team prop, want to just play it straight, or we can also, for Game of the Future, we leave it up to cappers in this segment. Is Javon back? We'll go to Javon. If he's not back, then we'll move on over to Rod. Going once, going twice. There, we got him here. So we'll go over to Javon here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a 4-team player prop parlay. Something I'll probably I'm gonna play because I just put it together. But SGA plus 30 plus points, Luka Doncic 30 plus points, Jason Tatum 25 plus points, Austin Reeves 20 plus points. You can find that on FanDuel.
There from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
We're going to take the Guardians. We're going to take the Jazz plus the points. We're going to lay it with the Lakers, and then we're going to throw in Arizona State plus the points. A little 4-teamer for you.
4-teamer there from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah. Give me the Celtics on the money line and the Jazz on the money line, and let's add the Magic as well.
From Kirk, I say what I like here. I will give you in this one. I'm going to take the Bulls plus the points. Give me Nats and Blue Jays over, and give me the homeless. I'm going to support the homeless again with this athletics team in the shelter. That plus the 132. All right, we got you through our Parlay Peripheral segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Pick Dodge Premium. Head into a big week of action as we head into into the Final Four week. We got all these minor tournaments from college basketball. NIT returns tomorrow. Baseball and hockey as well. Let's take a look and see what Javon has for sale over at Pick Dodge Premium. Javon's put up some impressive numbers on the hardwood this season. And right now, Javon sitting at pretty good numbers here, as you'll see right now up on the screen. 2,802 units of profit last 30 days. What do you got for sale over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, last day of March. Already started off with a win with Butler on the money line. Nice. So I was glad to see that line move. Started off on the right note, gonna end it off on the right note. Have a NBA play, still number 1 in the NBA at the website. And we got 2 baseball games, late night action with those. So check me out with something long term. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. It's been a good year overall, and plus money last 12 months. Plus money last 7, last 30 yesterday. So match me what other handicappers for the multi-capper promotional. You go 2, you go 3, you go 4. Just get all of us. That's on here right now. And we'll make you a lot of money. Can't go wrong here, sports. That place Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed. Let's take a look, see what Kirk's got going over at Pick Dogs Premium. Kirk, what you got for sale?
Yeah, last day of the month. Kind of tough month for me, so looking to turn the corner here on the last day of the month. Got a couple MLB, got my NBA play of the day, and then big month ahead in April.
There you go. So get on board with Kirk over at Pick Dog Premium. Long-term passes are your best value as well. Let's see what Rod's got going over at Pick Dog Premium. Rod's put together an impressive last 30 days. 1,884 units of profit. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, and over at Pick Dogs Premium, I got a 3-pack going, which gives me my top play in the NBA, top play in college basketball, the top play in the MLB that I got rolling tonight. Nice little Monday 3-pack going. Or I got my NBA top play of the day sold separately by itself. or as Jovan said, the best way to go is to grab that long-term pass. Take advantage of that 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1 capper promotion. You can see I'm not the only hot capper over the last 30 days. It's definitely a big group of us over at Pick Dogs that have been kicking the bookies in the teeth and taking their cash and putting it into our pockets. So definitely jump aboard. Take advantage of that 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1 capper promotion we got going. That week pass will get you right through the rest of the tournament because I'll make sure that I got Monday in for Sunday. So that way that 7-day pass will get you covered right through to the final net cutting in the Big Dance game next Monday. Rolling along, so can't wait. This is a loaded week of action. Let's continue. Finish off March strong as we had a nice, great March. So let's continue jumping right into April just as hot. Jump aboard over at Big Dogs Premium.
Yeah, go get on board, Ron. Over at Pick Dog Premium, see great results there. Remember the promo code Pick It, check out, save that 50% off. I've got a best bet on the board right now from the NBA. What's left right now? I got also a play for my long-term subscribers for the long-term subscribers from baseball. So get aboard with me over at Pick Dog Premium. 7-day pass is a great one. Get all my premium plays for the next 7 days and use that promo code Pick It, check out, save that 50% off. Multi-capper promotion, match me up with all your favorite cappers at Pick Dogs, save even more. All right, with you guys here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so you're notified when we release the plays, and you're notified with us in our live chat in there as well. All right, we'll see what our YouTube channel is pumping up here at Pick Dogs. Let's see what Kurt, what do you got going over at the Pick Dogs YouTube?
Yeah, right now just a lot of soccer. Soccer's coming back. A lot of midweek. Got about 15 midweek games, so videos will be up midweek, and then another 50 on the weekend. So tons of soccer, and yeah, should be a fun time.
Very good. And of course, Rod, pretty much a regular here on the drive-thru. They can also catch you one of the days during the weekend.
Yeah, pretty much regular here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I missed this Sunday. My internet just was awful. So nobody wants to see the voice of Rod here trying to give out picks, because that's what it was. Just couldn't get the camera to come in whatsoever. I was like, man, I can't get the camera to come in. Restart, reboot. I was like, this isn't working. So I had to call off late there in that one. So, but normally you'll see me on the Sunday morning show as well, giving out plays and winners there.
Good. Of course, Javon, you got your Parlay video series up there, and also we can catch you here on the drive-thru and on the weekends.
Yeah, nothing up tonight. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll give out another one that would have been the parlay. And it's going to the women. We're gonna shout out the women tonight. TCU, the Horned Frogs, and UConn, the Huskies. And then I'll be here on Friday. And then the weekend shows on Saturday and Sunday. Then back here again, like clockwork.
There you go. You got TCU and UConn tonight. Or TCU, both, right? Both teams?
TCU and UConn, two-teamer.
There you go. You got UConn to pound SC.
USC.
Absolutely.
Pound them. They're going to pound them. Set up that Final Four matchup with UCLA and UConn. This is when it gets good, is Elite Eight in women's. The Elite Eight is when it gets good, guys. South Carolina had a scare the other night, but USC got through.
Yeah, they did. Duke almost got them.
Yeah, that was close.
Almost.
That was close there. So, it's Elite Eight tonight. And, of course, Final Four coming up from the women. Of course, the winner of this one. A lot of people like UConn. I think they're the favorites to get through. They got UCLA in the Final Four if they win tonight. So, good stuff there from the women. All right. That's to do for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again tomorrow, so guys, make sure you tune in. Anybody have anything to say before we close it out?
Take the Braves alternate run line, -1.5, plus 280.
Wow.
Beats the Dodgers tonight. I also like Holmes over 4.5 strikeouts. I think he mows down the Dodgers early.
Well, I guess this would be with on the mound here for the Dodgers. They've got their kid that came back from the Tommy John, so we'll see how that rolls there. We're down to the bottom of their lineup as far as pitching.
It is. If you're going to beat them, you got a chance to beat them here tonight, and it's just one of those same thing. That first series recency bias where Atlanta looked like ass in that first series. So everybody's expecting Atlanta to show up ass here again, and I think
Glass now tonight.
I think I don't trust Glass now. I don't trust that guy at all. He has been solid, but I think it's.
Well, he's been glass during his career because he gets hurt a lot. He got hurt last year.
Correct. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Braves on that reverse line at plus 280.
That's right. All right, there you go from Rod. That's it for this edition of the Drive Through. Back